Construction fails, how project managers fail. In this video, I'm going to give you an exact how-to guide for how you can fail at your role and actually help fail the project, not give the field enough support, and really hurt your personal, your health, and your family life. So if you were really looking to do this, you've come to the right video. The key to being a horrible project manager is to get distracted. Now, I'm going to be sensitive and insensitive about a couple of these things because there is motivation for being a crappy project manager. Because if you are a crappy project manager, and again, just like I said in the super video, can blame it on everybody else, knowing that the super is going to blame you, if you can get ahead of him or her and actually blame them and cut them out first, then you can keep your cushy position behind your computer doing distracted work. It's just like you're on your iPhone all day and never have to rise to the occasion and do hard things, because who wants to get out of their comfort zone? The key here is, as PMs, we have every excuse to be busy and distracted. So if you need any help with this, look at this. I got excuses. I've got owners calling me. I've got multiple projects. Like, I can just tell the owner, hey, you gave me 5 to 12 projects. Like, hey, I'm doing my best, right? So I can hide my incompetence in all of the different projects that I have, right? And I can just like literally run around like a chicken with my head cut off. I can do back-to-back meetings and move all of my activities to the end of the day. I can be distracted and held victim to my email, not have any buffers. And the other thing is, if I don't pretend to be busy, or if I'm not actually distracted, supers are going to ask me for stuff, and who wants to help them? Like, they can just do their own work. I'm going to pretend to be busy doing things that I like and I know. I like being distracted. I like being busy. I like being on computers. So this will keep me from ever doing any real planning, any real preparing, or any real project management. Literally, I can just be a time teller or an accountant and just like throw up the red flag and complain about the superintendent. And as long as they're dumber than I am, I never have to rise to the occasion. The other thing is, with technology nowadays and iPhones, and this is a sensitive topic, so I will be sensitive about this. With more and more diagnoses for ADHD and distraction and the modern world that we live in, there is some precedent for this, so I'll put that to the side now. If I can just pretend that I'm distracted, I never have to do any real work. So that's the key. I can just give that as an excuse. If anybody ever calls me out, I got too many projects. I got too many meetings. The owner calls me for too many things. Why aren't the supers doing better? So these are my defaults. So I know the supers have their default excuses, but if I create a close enough relationship to the director of operations and the owners of the company, and if I brown nose enough, I can stay in their center circle, and we'll create like a little boys club over here, right? Unless it wouldn't happen with girls, but anyway, like I can create like this little boys club, and as long as I have human connection and I'm closer to corporate than the superintendent, I can blame everything on them and then go be the firefighter, and I'll be the chief firefighter, and that's how I'll get my significance. I'll be the savior, quote unquote, and put out fires that I created in the first place. And that way, I don't ever have to rise to the occasion. So let me give you the exact method to tank the role of a project manager, take the project down with us, and then blame the superintendent for it and get off scot-free, and then also have an excuse not to go home on time, especially for those of us who don't like our spouses or spending time or taking care of our kids. Like, this whole busyness thing will keep us at work doing the things that make us feel important so that we can feed our egos. Always worrying about the past, always stressing about the future, and feeling self-important. That's what we want to do. We don't want to create real connections with people, especially my family. Like, ideally, what we're hoping is they just put up with this for about 20 to 30 years, and then I have a boatload of money, and then at the end they just give up and they like bring me drinks out on the back porch as I'm an old man, right? So that's the purpose. So let me give you the exact steps for how to tank the role of a project manager right now. Number one, managing the project by budget. So here's what I love about this. I have numbers and I have budget numbers, and I can just cut, and I never have to like really invest or give my heart or mind to an effort. I don't have to go out and help. All I can do is get the job, all I have to do is get the job cost report like every week, go through it and start to grill people and pester them on why they're spending money on preventative measures. Nobody wants to do that. Like, let's just cut. So I'm going to manage the budget by cutting needed things. We're going to cut training. We're going to cut pre-construction. We're going to cut planning. We're going to cut roles. We're going to cut anything nice for the trades. In fact, my favorite thing to say to the superintendent is, especially if they've been to one of Jason's Super PM boot camps, he teaches them to do lunchrooms and clean the bathrooms and to do nice things. There is zero chance I'm spending money on that. Like, that is garbage. I've got to have something to cut. So I'm cutting the bathrooms. We're only cleaning those once a week. I'm cutting the lunchroom. They're animals. We all know they're not really animals, that they're human beings that deserve respect. But you and I, we should keep this illusion that they're just construction workers. They don't need bathrooms. They can go into a bathroom. What are you complaining about? You're complaining about toilet paper? Oh my gosh, like, you're so put upon. You've got socks. Why don't you wipe your butt with socks? Like, you don't need clean bathrooms. You don't need a lunch area. You don't need these things. Stop whining and shut up, right? I mean, you get me? Like, that's exactly like what's going on. So there's no way I'm paying for a superintendent or me to go to a Super PM boot camp, because plausible deniability, right? You guys have seen Independence Day, right? I don't want to know about something that then I'm going to be held accountable for. So I'm cutting the lunchrooms, I'm cutting the bathrooms, I'm cutting the bathroom cleaning, I'm cutting the barbecues for workers. I'm an elevated project manager. I'm the only one here that's important. They don't need those things. Go have a barbecue at home. That's garbage. Cut out, right? I'm going to be like the new president of Argentina. Afuera, afuera, afuera. Like, we're getting rid of these things. Like, they're gone. Anything that's needed, gone. Like, I don't need them, right? So I'm going to manage this project by slashing the budget. Manage by cuts. And if somebody wants to invest in something like proper planning or taking care of the workers or some preventative medicine, no, like, we don't have a budget for that. Everybody believes that. And then I can blame it on them anyway and act like the hero, and then go complain to my boys club with the director of operations and the leadership team in my boys club up there, and like really demonize everybody else. And I can still get promotions even though I'm incompetent. Like, this is amazing. Like, and the other thing is, like, this reinforces my negative sense of the world, and it reinforces my ego. So I love it. So that's step no. Sorry for spending so much time, but that's a big one. Managing the project by budget will only serve me, and it will allow me to blame everyone else. Number 2, not being boots on the ground. Like, if I'm too busy, there's no way I got to put my boots on and go visit the commoners. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to fail at this position, the last thing I'm going to do is go talk to the people that know what they're doing. I'm not going to go talk to the last planners, because they could actually solve the problem. Why would I want to hear this noisy nonsense of doing it right? Ew, like, go do your job. Like, I don't need to be out in the field. The other thing is, I don't want to ruin my clothes. The other thing is, I'm getting in every day at 9 o'clock. Like, ew, like, I'm not going to get up in the morning. I'm not going to go outside in the field. I'm behind this. Like, this thing is my jam. Like, I love this thing. We're going to spend all the time in the world in the office. I just love my computer. I'm not going out in the field. Like, that's just garbage. I can write more emails and be more distracted here than I ever could out in the field. Number 3, not connecting with the superintendent. If I like that person, oh my gosh, that would be the end of me, because then I'd want to do something like support them, enable them, get them materials, ask them what they need, actually like prioritize the needs of the field. I don't want to do that. If that guy or gal suckers me into a relationship with them, then I can't blame them. Then I feel so conflicted when I'm with the boys club, with the director of operations up here blaming it on everybody else. Like, I've got to be able to badmouth them and pin it on them. It's harder if I like them. So the last thing I'm going to do is go develop a relationship. Like, I've said it before, but again, ew, like, I don't want to like mingle with the commoners over here. So I'm going to create as much disconnection as I can, come in as late as I can, be at corporate as often as I can, and be as busy as I can so I never have to engage. Number 4, building the team. I'm not going to get to know people, because once I do that, I got the same problem with the super. The other thing is, I don't want people being effective out here. If I can keep people fighting against each other, I can pit them against each other like it's a soap opera and have everybody loyal to me, and basically maintain my God God complex and have control. And that's a win-win for me. The other thing is having a plan. I'm definitely going to use CPM. I'm going to put it in the plan and then just complain that the trades, the workers and the foreman, the super don't follow the plan. And that reinforces my ability to lord over them. Number 6, I'm not going to do a good job for procurement. I'm going to blame it on their schedule moving all the time and then be like, what did you expect? If you want materials, like, keep a consistent date. They're coming in 2 weeks. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything about it. So if you want to fail as a project manager, or if I do not manage procurement weekly with the super. The other thing is, I'm not going to talk to the owner about real things. I'm going to just focus mostly on golfing, buying beer, going out and doing buddy type stuff. If we get too much into the details, I don't want an uncomfortable conversation to come up, like, why aren't you doing your job? Oh my gosh, like, I do not have to, ain't nobody got time for that. So like, I'm going to focus on distracting them with golf games, with outings, with favors, with like, buddy type stuff. I'm going to take them over to the basketball game. I'm going to buy them wine, buy them beer, buddy, pull them into my boys club. That way I never have to do any real work. And the other thing is, do not get involved with safety. Because again, if something happens, especially if somebody gets hurt or dies, you've got to be able to blame the super. If I get involved with safety, I'll have to be committed and like actually follow up and do work and blah, 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 blah. And nobody wants to do that. And you know what? I should stop right now, because at this point, I think I've given you like 8 different suggestions. That's more than enough to tank the role, blame it on everybody else, maintain my boys club, my ivory castle, my like little social group over here, and really just lord over everybody and reinforce my ego. So if you as a project manager are wanting to do these things, then join me. You can be a part of my boys club, right? Because the more of us there are to lord over other people, the less chances there are for these concepts like lean and operational excellence and equality to enter the industry. And we don't want that, because that would challenge my ego and my status quo. I'm going to give you a really nice Canva graphic on how to tank the role of a PM. The other thing, time out on a serious note, if you don't want to do that, if you actually want to do your job well, come to a Super PM bootcamp at Elevate, where we teach you how to do it right and how to stay ahead of the game and actually care about people. So if you're an owner, general contractor, or anybody, come. You're going to have the time of your life, because there's only so many people that want to tank the role. If you want to do it right, put us in. We'll show you the way. On we go.